Hi there, it's great to OMC you. My name's Darrell. Welcome to Old Man Cycling. In this video, join me as I go on my first ever ride on my Orbea D30 1X. Now, this is an e-bike. It's the first time I've had an e-bike, and I've had it purposely to try and give me a little bit more range because I do suffer a little bit from bad knees. In a previous video I did unbox this bike and build it, so if you want to check that out, I'll put a card just up here and a link down below in the description. But of course what I'm most excited for is just to get out and have a go and test it on the road. What I'm also really excited to test is the motor function. Now, it's all controlled from this little button just here. Basically there are three power levels that you can have more or less assistance with, and so I'll be testing those throughout the ride, and also just how the bike works without any assistance at all. Also, another thing to get the feel of on this ride is the fact that this bike is my first one that has disc brakes. Now, my previous giant TCR1 had standard brakes, and that was 15 years old. Now, I do talk about that in my first video that I made, so you can go and check that out if you're interested in seeing my old bike. But all of these new features are going to be something that I'm going to be getting the feel of on this first ride. So to turn on the bike, we press this button just here once, and then it'll go through the startup cycle, and when it's ready, the circle will glow white. Now at this point there's no assistance, but the lights on the front just here and on the back come on, and they are powered from the internal battery. Now if I want to add another level of assistance, I press the button again and this will go green, so this is the first level of assistance. Then I press it again and it'll go amber, that's the second level of assistance, and then I press it again and it'll turn red, and that is the highest level of assistance. So I've turned on my Wahoo and loaded the route, and I'll press start. And that means we're all ready to get going. So I've just pulled off, and at the moment the bike is feeling great. It's very firm and very tight. The gearing is really easy. So this bike only has one front cog, which makes gear changing a little bit simpler. So there's no front mech. All of the gear changing is done on the rear cassette, and it's got a really good gear ratio because it's designed for climbing hills and going over gravel tracks. So I'll put the gear ratios on the screen now. I'm on a little straight now that goes for about 3 miles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop filming and I'm going to really concentrate on putting a bit of power down to see how the bike really performs. So I don't know whether it's just because it's a new bike and there's a certain amount of novelty factor behind it, but I am so enjoying this ride this morning. This is a really amazing bit of kit. Riding it is no easier. You still have to use all the muscles you would normally, but everything just feels so together and so tight and just so well made. So there were a few things that I was a little bit concerned about before I started riding. One was the disc brakes, and really they've not been a problem at all, as long as you treat them with respect and remember that they're a little bit more fierce than standard brakes. Just use them carefully, feather them, and don't slam them on too hard. You shouldn't have any problem at all. The second issue was how the gravel tyres would perform on the road. I was wondering whether it would slow me down noticeably or whether there'd be any increased road noise. Turns out
can't tell any difference. Now, if I was a really elite cyclist and I was trying to do time trials and things like that, then yes, it would probably slow me down and I might notice in the odd second lost here and there. But for me, an amateur cyclist, it makes no difference at all. So what I'm going to do now is properly test out the gravel tyres. I am on a towpath by the side of a canal, and I'm going to cycle along here for a while and just do something that I've not been able to do before. So there are some swans here on this towpath. I'll try and get through these without them attacking me. There we go, that's successfully done. So just here is a gate so I can get off the towpath back onto the road, and now the next 3 or 4 miles is a slow climb up into the next town, and so I'm going to use the assist to see how much it helps me and compare with how that normally feels doing this stretch. That was a gentle incline over about 2 miles, and I had full assist on all the way, and the battery only dropped by 1% because it only kicks in below 15 miles an hour because it's limited to 15 miles an hour. So if you started to drop your cadence or average speed, you just felt a gentle push just to get you back up to speed. It's only when you drop below 15 miles an hour or pull off from a standing start that you notice that real push. Behind me is what passes for a hill in Cheshire. It's quite a gentle gradient, but just to show how much of a hill people think it is around here, it's even called the hill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up it in full assist just to see how it helps. Going up the hill at the moment I'm doing 14 miles an hour, and as I get to 15 I can just feel that the assist stops, but it's very easy. I know it's not a great incline and it's not that challenging. I'm certainly not going up Mount Everest or anything like that, but the assist really is helping. The more I ride, the more I get to notice when the assist cuts in and cuts out, and it is around that 15 mile an hour mark. At that point, if you drop below 15 miles an hour, you definitely get that extra push, and then as soon as you go above it you feel the assist back off again, and it's a really good system. It's certainly going to help out my poor old knees. So I'm nearly home now, and my first impressions are that this bike is just amazing. It feels so good, and that motor really does help out just when it's needed. Now, it's not taking over by any means. I still feel like I've had a workout, but it's been so pleasurable. Stay tuned to the channel. I'll probably do a more in-depth review of the bike in a few weeks when I get used to it a little bit more, but first impressions are wow. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, you can let me know down below in the comments or nip over to my Facebook page and leave me your comments there. Now, watch out for future videos where I'm going to be talking in more depth about the Orbea, the Wahoo, and my general fitness and how it improves through cycling. Now, if you want to help the channel out, you can do that by clicking like, subscribe, and the bell notifications, because that way you'll make sure that you stay up to date with all of my future content. Watch out for my next video, and in the meantime, while you're waiting for that, you can check out this video just up here. But all that's left now is to say it's been great to OMC you, and stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
I'll be
Oh, you f***. So there are some swans here on the towpath. I'll try, whoa, pothole. If you in, leave me your comments there.